What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Shooky from Shook Earth Media, and today I'm having a sad day because I have to watch the new Halo. I said I was done last week, and I was done, but then 400 some people watched the video, and I can't give it up. So it's specifically your fault. If you're watching, if you clicked on this and you watch it right now, it's specifically your fault that I am ruining my day and sufficiently, just destroying my hype for Halo. And it's all your fault. It's all because you want to click on this video. It's all your fault. It's definitely not my decision, active decision to watch this show and kill my own brain cells. But, it is what it is. So let's just jump into the episode. We got another boring, terrible episode. Most of this episode is dedicated to stuff I don't care about. And every passing week, we see more and more of what their vision is. And it's more generic, more pointless, more MacGuffins than even I anticipated. And it's gonna be really hard to redeem the show for me and to move past any sort of, just forget it. Just forget it. We're moving on. We start off with this intro scene, flashback scene, and we're getting a bit of origin story behind the lady who's on the Covenant side, the human who's on the Covenant side, the Blessed One or whatever. And just right off the bat, I mean, the Covenant would never let a human on their side. They have this whole new plot line. This isn't really accurate to the games or anything. I will say I like the way this planet looks. I gotta say, the trash piles and the production value in this particular teaser is pretty good. This is the most expensive looking part of the episode, and the rest of it's just a lot of boring talky stuff. There's no action in this episode whatsoever. Not that I would expect action every week necessarily, but I mean, Halo to me, it's an action video game, action science fiction. It would be like Star Wars with no action scenes in it. It is just as weird, and I think there's a little bit more precedent for it to be in Star Wars, for there to be a Star Wars thing with no combat. But we got this is the Blessed One lady or whatever. It's a flashback we didn't really need to, I don't even really understand how they go about finding this person. So there's this other kid here, and this kid's reading your story, and the kid wants them to kiss or something. It's really weird. And I was just thinking, dude, imagine being a kid actor and having to fucking kiss a stranger. It'd be so weird. It's so weird as a kid. Anyways, the elites, I mean, and like we said, there's pretty much only elites in this show. So the elites just happen to land in this trash heap, and I don't know what led them here, but they have this thing that's it's like a metal detector for the Blessed One. Beep, 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 beep. And then they're like, no, it's behind this kid. And it's like, no, it is this kid. What we seek is close. And okay, so how did they know it's on this planet, the Blessed One, or whatever? How did they know it was even on this planet? Second, planets are huge. How did they know that this specific trash pile is where they would find this person? Am I missing something here? Is it really, can you really tell from orbit? Oh, beep, 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 the metal detector thing is working. How did they find this person? How did they even know that there's such thing as a Blessed One? I mean, maybe we'll get back to that later. Chief is a Blessed One as well. What is so special about these Blessed Ones? Why not just all humans? Is it just humans in general? Do they scan every human to see if they happen to be a Blessed One? Did they scan themselves to make sure they're not? So, I just have all these questions, and it's just really convenient for the storyline that all that happened. And, it is the coolest looking scene in the whole episode, but ultimately, this character, I don't know why we already have the Covenant as villains. We already have the Prophets as villains. We already have all these antagonists. They could bring the Arbiter in as he was the general at the first Halo installation. I believe that's Delta Halo installation. He was the general who lost that, and then that's how he became the Arbiter because of that shame of losing that fight to the Chief. So they could easily bring in the Arbiter before he's the Arbiter and make him the lead antagonist of this series, but instead they invent this character who I don't find interesting or anything. I'm not even really intrigued, and I think it's confusing for new viewers who don't even know what the Covenant is. So I'm not really into this storyline, and she carried this book with her from her past or whatever, and like, why would they let her keep it? You know, why would they let her keep it? Why would she have it for this long? I don't know. I'm not really all that interested in this story, and like, these are Covenant, right? They know nothing about humans, next to nothing about humans. Do they even have food on their planet that humans can eat? This is the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. Do they know anything about human medicine? Does she like have menstrual products to take care of her fucking period? Do they even does the Covenant have a period? Do the Covenant females have period? I don't know, dude. This is the kind of stuff that with science fiction, like, this is the kind of stuff you should be thinking about. But when you think about it in the context of this show, it just comes off as ridiculous. So again, we got boring talking scenes, and this whole MacGuffin with this artifact, man. I am so uninterested in this artifact. I could not give a fuck less about this artifact. It's just a MacGuffin, an excuse to keep the story forward. And it's got all these mysteries locked inside it and unlocks Chief's memories, which makes no sense unless that's what the object was designed to do specifically. And Chief did not exist when this artifact was created, right? I mean, I'm sure this artifact is ancient, blah, blah, blah. So why does it unlock his specific... There's just so many questions, and I honestly don't really care about the answers all that much. I'll be honest. I really don't. So we get some answers. This isn't Cortana. I was like, is this Cortana? And they're just giving her like a robot body. So this part is somewhat from the canon. So I read the Fall of Reach book and a couple of the other ones, I think. But the creation of Cortana was created off of 20 cloned brains or something like that. A couple dozen cloned brains, Halsey's brain. So the Flash cloning thing, it is present in the lore. They added that it's illegal and she's doing it illegally just because they want to have some intrigue. I don't really think that does anything for the story other than making the UNSC like they break so many regulations in this episode. It's like, what's the point of having a regulation? And it makes the UNSC look weak. I don't know if they really mean for that to happen, but they're breaking all these rules this episode and nobody cares. So it's whatever. But we got this clone here. Now in the lore, she just cloned her brain. I'm pretty sure. I don't think she had to make a full blown clone of herself. And then they used the clone brain to make the neural maps. But I don't know. They want to do this whole. They're really pushing this whole. Oh, the UNSC is actually shady, and oh, Halsey's a bad person. Well, the Halsey stuff was in there too. It was in the original too, but. Like, they're doing the same thing that they're doing with Starfleet in the new Star Trek shows, which I absolutely hate as well. Where it's like, oh, Starfleet is actually racist, guys, and they do all this shady stuff. Dude, I hate it. I hate it. And this whole Section 31 thing with the, like, oh, we gotta do the shady things that are against our actual rules, so we have a Secret Service. I'm getting distracted thinking about Star Trek, but there's a lot of parallels between the two here. Where one, they don't really care about the lore all that much, except for when they want to take little bits just to use. They take little bits to use, and then they disrespect the atmosphere or the overall intent. So they just take little bits to be like, see, we're being faithful, without being faithful to the holistic view of what Halo should be. So they're like, oh, we take the clone part. We took the clone part, and there's actually a nice little shout out when we actually see Cortana later to the lore as well. But yeah, we have this whole conversation, and all we really get from this conversation is she has no morality at all and is okay with killing this clone version of herself. And also, Miranda Keyes is her daughter, which is such an unnecessary fucking thing. I don't know why that's necessary to do that. And why wouldn't... I guess Miranda doesn't know. I feel like we would have learned that already. I don't know. I don't care about this family fucking drama. I don't. I don't care at all. Honestly, Miranda Keyes in the original Halo games, not that great a character to begin with. Is that in dispute? I mean, do people really like her? Maybe? I don't know. Anyways, they kill this lady, and also this fucking guy, like, he's like gonna kiss her before he kills the fucking clone. So he's got a thing for Halsey, and it's fucking weird sex shit going on that I don't know why is in the show at all. And they stab her in the eye, and then the blessed one lady stabs somebody else in the eye later. And I'm just like, is this a Paramount Plus thing where we stab people in the eye and shit like that? I don't know if anybody has seen the part from Picard where they pick a dude's fucking eyeball out. It's really weird. I don't know. That's all the violence in this episode is people getting stabbed in the eye. So it's not pleasant, but you know, and also I don't know why does Cortana have to fucking take over Master Chief's brain? Like why is that a plot line? That's not true to the original either. Like, see, they take these little things, and then they leave. They just interpret the big stuff, the important stuff, how they want. Now here's a little shout out that when Cortana was created originally, I think it was in Fall of Reach. It might have been another novel. She said the first line, the first quote of hers is that when the queen or when the king and the pawn, when the game is over, the queen and the pawn go back in the same box, saying, you know, that there's this same level to everything, even though we have all these different hierarchies, we're all ultimately go back in the same box. You know, it's supposed to be a humbling statement. It's supposed to be something like, you know, everybody dies at the end type of thing. But it's a cool quote, and that is directly from the source material. So they have her say that. But then they don't have her look how she looks originally. We've talked about this in my trailer reaction. I don't like this look. It honestly doesn't look as bad as it did in the trailer. I don't know if they changed things or if it's just like, it doesn't look, it looks CG to me, but I don't know why they didn't go the full way and make her fully how she is in the games, or more similar, like the translucent thing. I don't know why they didn't go for that. Either do that or just have the real actress. But they did neither, and they did what looks like a real actress, just a little glowy, except it is CGI though. So it's really weird though, because it's this uncanny valley thing where this is CGI face, but they just made it look like a real face. So I don't know why you wouldn't just either make her look like how she did in the games, or just film the real actress and then add these glowy effects, if that's what you want to do. But here we got this half measure where it's CG still, but it's trying to look realistic. So it's this really uncanny valley thing. The actress does great. You know, it's the same Cortana voice that we're used to. It's honestly the best part of the show is to have Cortana's voice in it. It's the legit right now the only redeeming quality, other than this lady's a good actress and she's good for Halsey. So I'm not hating on the actress too much. Like, the acting is fine. But yeah, and then we're back on the planet with Kwana, and she wants to go back to her home world, and that's where we're gonna end up. But we spend this whole episode arguing about it, and it's really fucking boring, and I don't care. And he ordered chickens. Who cares? He's got fucking chicken, dude. It's so boring. I just don't get why they think, oh, this is what Halo fans really want to see. Like, no, dude, there's like fucking dude. And he doesn't have his mask, his helmet on in the episode at all. None, not one scene. He doesn't have his armor on in one scene. They just don't care about Chief looking like Chief, and he's not doing anything heroic here or anything interesting. We'll get back to it. Then we got this ship with the Chosen One. This is the UNSC ship, and the Chosen One has set up this whole thing. They're trying to learn about the fucking, the artifact and where it went. Now, my thing is, like, there's a war going on, so there's active fighting happening. So this subterfuge thing, I don't know why. The UNSC just falls for it very easily without doing any real work on making sure that she's telling the truth. B, there's these tentacle things she takes with her, and we'll get back to that later, but they would have seen the heat signatures on the fucking thing. They're talking about in this scene how there's only a few heat signatures on the ship, but they didn't check that there's extra heat signatures or something. You would have been able to detect the worm things in one of their scanner devices or something. They didn't do that, so it makes the UNSC look stupid. The Covenant, honestly, like I'm sure they have prisoners of war. I'm sure that they're taking all the computers and data that they can. So I don't know why they feel the need to set this up, or why they think this specific ship has information on the artifact when they actually don't. So it's really just a waste of a storyline, just to set up the villain, you know? And that's really all it is. And then, dude, this whole thing, it's such a cliche with these memories. I don't even think they realize they're doing it. That they created a show that embodies one of the oldest video game cliches. This storyline, hidden memories, in amnesia, getting hidden memories in flashbacks, it's a video game cliche. It's in a lot of games. I mean, it's not always bad. Like BioShock has that too, and that's one of my favorite games ever. But I don't think they realized that they were like, oh, let's try to make. They think that Master Chief is a cliche character, I think, and they think that they needed to do all this humanizing stuff to make him more complex and interesting, and that's what they thought of. So let's make him less cliche by adding this other video game cliche that we don't know is a video game cliche because we don't play video games and we don't actually care about it. But we're just here to, they hired us to write Halo, so that's what we're doing, even though I've never played the game. I can't say for sure that the writers had never played the game, so it really doesn't feel like they have. I mean, we got all these memories, like, I would have never thought, like, any Halo fan, even if you hire a Halo fan who's a professional writer, I guarantee you like 0 of them would have been like, yeah, let's fixate on Master Chief's past and let's give him hidden memories. And let's, like, none of that is what is interesting about Halo. It's about learning about the Forerunners. It's about learning about the Flood. It's about learning about the Covenant. All these interesting things. It's about seeing the weapons. It's about the combat. It's about the different species. So far, we've only seen elites. Well, I don't even think that we've seen the elites and the prophets, and we get to see a hunter in this episode, sort of. But, like, if you don't know what the Covenant is, if this is your first introduction to Halo, you're thinking that they're just elites right now. I don't think you know about grunts. You certainly don't know about brutes. Like, where the fuck are the brutes? Where the fuck are the grunts? Where the fuck are the fucking hunters, dude? Or not hunters, the sniper boys, the shield boys. You guys know what I'm talking about. Jackals. Where are the jackals? Like, what the hell is any of this? I don't know. I just don't really care. I don't care. It's stupid. And then we get this weird tentacle shit. And this is the setup. Earlier we had a shot where we had her setting up for this attack here. And I wonder if it's here. No, that's her crying on the radio. Anyways, we get to see a shot of a hunter's knee from behind. And for those who don't know, the hunters, there are these big guys in the game, some of the bigger, more tanky enemies in the game, other than the boss battles, when there are boss battles, are the hunters. And they actually, in the lore, are not one creature. They are a bunch of worms in one form, which I think is a really cool concept. And once I learned that, I was like, whoa, that's awesome. That's so cool. And you get to see the Halo 3 map assembly, where you get to see them making the ship, or making hunters basically out of these worm things. And that's really cool. And I love that concept. I think it's wasted here, because we see the hunter from behind the knee, but if you're not a Halo fan already, you don't know what that is. You don't know that that's a hunter. And if you are a Halo fan, you might have missed the hunter. It was a very quick shot. And you would be like when I watched this trailer, I was like, what are these worm tentacle things? Like, what is it? This is actually a hunter. So I actually kind of like that little shout out and using it in an interesting way. But they didn't introduce the hunter, period, before introducing this worm aspect. And it would have been so much stronger if we saw a hunter maybe in the first episode, and then we saw this and learn about the true form. but as of right now, I mean, I don't think people are gonna even make the connection, like, that aren't Halo fans. They're not even gonna be like, they might be confused. And this whole plot line ends up being pointless because there's no information for her on there. And then Master Chief is just wandering around and he's looking at. I think what's going on here. He sees people playing this card game. What's going on here is he wants to be a real boy. I want to be a real boy. That's what they're going for with the show. It's like, oh, he's a machine, but he wants to be real. He's got feelings too, man. And he wants to be the human. And he doesn't want to be the soulless machine anymore. Oh, then there's this really cringeworthy scene with fucking Cortana. And Chief is like, go away. I don't, stay out of my room, Mom. I don't want you here, Mom. Get out of here. Really, really weird. And then we're back on this planet, and who cares? We're with this 1920s flapper-looking lady. Why does she look like that? Why does she look like that in a Halo show? I don't know. Why does she look like that? Why is she even in the show? I don't know. I don't know. Soren seems to exist as only as a buffer to get her from Master Chief's custody back to her homeworld. That seems to be the whole point of Soren's character. Although he's the most interesting character in the sense of, like, he's the most relatable in this episode. There aren't too many likable characters in this show, I must say. I mean, Master Chief, I mean, he's not unlikable, but he's not somebody I'm like, oh yeah, Chief is awesome, you know, like he is in the games. So, and then he's working with Cortana. Cortana's like, I can help you search, and then we're finding out about your fucking memories that literally nobody cares about. And then they're like, oh, we got to get nudity in this because it's a Showtime show. So they're like, oh, okay, we'll show bare-ass fucking Master Chief and have him trying to take out his fucking emotional chip or something. I'm like, bro, this is Star Trek. This is fucking Data and his brother. What's his brother's name again? I forget. It's his fucking brother with the emotional chip. And this is Data trying to become like his brother, you know, when they had that whole... You guys know if you know. If you know, you know. But it's stupid. It's dumb. It's stupid. He gets caught. I don't know why he's just doing that in a public bathroom. But he wants to be a real boy. I'm going to be a real boy. I'm going to ride this escalator, and then I'm going to ride the subway and be a real boy. I'm going to listen to some music and be a real boy. I want to be a real boy. I want to know what it's like to be human. What does it feel like to hear music? Dude. And then now that the emotional chip is gone, he's able to know the memories even more. And now they're going to this planet. Bro, there's a fucking war on. There is a war. Colonies are probably getting wiped out at this very instant, dude. And these Spartans are just milling about on Reach. Chief is going to a planet to investigate something when his time could be better used elsewhere. I get that the artifact they want us to think the artifact is important, but there's nothing to indicate any importance behind this artifact other than the Covenant were searching for it, right? So yeah, they want to learn more about it, but to dedicate all their resources to that, Master Chief is also making his own decisions. Like, he doesn't get ordered to go anywhere. He's like, I'm going here. He's a soldier, bro. He's not a fucking admiral. Like, he doesn't get to make those decisions. Am I stupid? Oh, and he's holding his helmet. At least you can see the helmet on screen, guys. Oh my god, he's got a helmet. And then Soren, she convinces Soren after this whole episode of arguing about whether or not to go. She just is like, yeah, we'll pay you. And he's like, okay. Bro, her whole family's dead. I don't know who you think is going to pay you. She's fucking lying to you. And he knows that too. I don't know why all of a sudden he's cool with it now, you know? And he keeps threatening to kill her, which is kind of weird. It's like, I don't know, dude. This whole show. We'll find out where they took the Keystone. And then Miranda keys and blah, blah, blah. And now the artifact is part of another artifact that it fits inside another artifact. Whoa, mind-blowing, dude. I don't give a fuck. Okay, that's it. It's over. We're done. And with that, I hate the show, and you guys know it. And let me know what you think in the comment section down below. It's all your fault for me watching this. I am so angry right now, and it's 100% your responsibility. You watching this right now, it is 100% your fault. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Me roasting this a little bit, having some fun. I did say I wasn't going to cover the show, but people watch it. So if people watch this video, we're going to keep covering it. If not, don't be surprised if we don't keep watching it. But yeah, don't watch this video. I don't want to watch this fucking show anymore, guys. Don't make me do it. Hit the sub for more fucking videos, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, everybody. Peace out. Have a good one.